Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Driver's Garage. I am kind of doing a little bit of everything this week. I got my Galaxie back here. I got to fix a couple things, like the gas gauge still doesn't work. I got a new sending unit, and the tank leaks at the sending unit, so I got to figure out that while I have them changing out the sending unit. I also have a problem with these tires on the front. Let me show you. Okay, so I put these 255 6015s on here, and well, if you look closely at the lug nuts, they're not really engaging anymore very much, and that's because I had to put a 5/16 spacer behind it to keep the back of the tire from rubbing on the ball joint. I don't know if you can see it very well, but oh, there's a hose. Yeah, so the tires were rubbing pretty close to the ball joints. That one was the worst one of the two. And so I spaced them out a tiny bit. Well, now that I did that, they're not rubbing the ball joint no more, but they are rubbing when I turn. And so instead of tearing up tires for a look, I'm going to go back to 235 6015s, which I got in today. These are Cooper Cobras. I kind of like these. A loyal radial TA guy from BFG for years and years and years, and then I just, the prices started going up when crazy a few years ago, back when BFG sold the molds to Cooper Coker Tire, and I wasn't real happy with what was happening with BFGs. It's like after 3 years they would start cracking in the beads. And I've got seen tires at the shop where I work that are 20 years old that don't do that in the beads on a 20-year-old TAs, but the newer ones all seem to do that, so I don't know what's going on. And I wasn't too happy about it. I mean, I know that they say you should change your tires every 3 or 4 years or something, but that's just silly. So I tried these out, and now I have had 3 cars on them, and I really like them. Radial TA prices have come down, or these have come up, or whatever, and they're kind of more evenly priced, but I do like these. They ride nice, they're quiet, though they're not very good in the snow. Not very good in the snow, but hey. Anyways, I got to get the front tires off the car, and then I got to fix the gas gauge, and I'll show you what I did with that. Okay, I think these are 3/4 inch lug nuts. No, they're not. They're 13/16. We got another lock socket. These Fords use pretty good sized lug nuts for a car on these big Fords. Whoa! Now the battery's dead. Okay. That battery's dead. Are you freaking kidding me? Both my batteries are dead. Which means I gotta drop it back down on the wheels and use breaker bar. Lovely. Okay. I don't have my air impacts here. Been using it at work since my other one died at work. God, where did I put these on it? Okay. There it goes. I only torqued these to like 85, I think. Goodness sakes. It's not helping my bruised ribs either. I've reached that age where I wake up with mystery injuries. Right now I got bruised ribs right here. I don't know what the hell I did. Okay, that's loose. Go around to the other side. Not sure what I did to kill both batteries on my impact, but hey, oh well. Tin them on the side of the road, I guess. You look closely here, you can see that I don't have a lot of thread engagement. Well, that's enough. I mean, it doesn't look safe when you look at the lug nut, but if you look at the actual stud sticking out of the wheel, so like say this is a 1/2 inch stud, you want a 1/2 inch thread engagement, which is more than what that's there, which would make it safe. But if I was gonna really wanting to do any really spirited driving, I think I want more than that. So anyway, okay. You see how this is all the spacer that I put on is. It's 5/16 of an inch, which is not real big, but anyway. But it was, you can see where it was rubbing. I cleaned some of the grease off the ball joint there, and there really isn't any groove mark. Well, there's a little bit of a, well, that's just the tread design. There's no real groove mark on the back of the tire. So there's no groove mark on the back of the tire, so I really didn't damage the tires. And these don't even have 1,000 miles on them. So I'm going to save them for something else because, let's face it, tires are expensive. If somebody wants to buy them from me, use them as rollers, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Put these lug nuts up on the fender. On the fender there for right now. Come around the side here. And these are 7-inch wheels. With a 255 on them. I had, when this car was running 5 years ago before with the original engine in it, after I first got it running, I had 235s on it. And then the car sat in the garage for a long time. And then about a year ago, I grabbed the 235s that were on the front of the car on here, and I pulled them off and I put them on my Impala because I wanted a bigger tire to have more of the NASCAR look, But obviously, it's just a fitment issue. I could start rolling fenders and doing all this other crap to make them fit, and put longer studs on the hubs here, and it's like I didn't want to go that route just for a little bit cooler look. So I'm going to go back to the 235s and do that. Anyway, the lug nuts on the fender, tire off, get that off. Okay. This tire actually is showing a little bit of a groove. Not much. I mean, I'm not concerned about that at all. But it is a bit of a groove caused by the ball joint up there. Right there, you can see it where. Come on, get out of the way. You can see where there's a little bit has been rubbing, and yeah, I'm not concerned. That's not deep at all, and I don't feel like that would be unsafe to drive on. So, and these sidewalls on these tires are pretty thick. So I got the new 235s mounted and balanced today. I'm gonna get these on and see how they fit. Bear with me one moment. Oof. Doesn't have a lot of room, does it? But it's not rubbing, which is what the most important thing is. And this is 2 sizes smaller than what I was on there, and it's still close. So now the suspension is a full droop because it's on the it's sitting on jack stands on the frame and not the suspension. So let's get it on its wheels and see what we got for room. See if I can get the phone up in there. Yeah, still has not a lot of room, but like a 1/4 of an inch, but at least it's not rubbing, which is what I need. I can't have my tires rubbing. That would be bad, having the sidewall rub through and boom on the freeway. So I got 2 boxes here. This is the little one. This is the gas tank singing unit or fuel tank singing unit for the Galaxie. And the package slip. Okay, we're underneath the car. As you can see, the car's still on the ground. It's on its tires. But once you slide underneath the gas tank, there's quite a bit of room under here. You can see there's where the sending unit goes into the gas tank and all the rust. As you can see, these things are common for this. They like right there and right there. And then this brace seems, I guess it filled with dirt. If you look at the front of this gas tank, look at this. That's from rocks. So this thing spent a lot of its life on dirt roads. So I'm going to put the thing over here and hopefully it's pointing in the right direction. First thing to do is to get the fuel line disconnected. Try not to be under the fuel line when you pull it off because there's probably some residual fuel still in it. You probably should use a brass drift when you're removing these stuff, just to avoid sparks, right? Now if gas starts pouring out of here when I pull the hose off, right, let me know. It's still got gas in it. So there we go. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna go get some paper towels. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this here. I use a dead blow and just a regular screwdriver. You want to tap the ring loose. Forgive the poor lighting. I am underneath a car in a dark garage. Alright, so this is not Motor Trend television. So if you start seeing sparks doing this, stop, okay? Just stop. Because unless you like to live on the wild side, or you think third-degree burns over half your body is pretty cool, stop, okay? Go find something brass drift. But I've never had sparks fly. But I tell you what, if I ever see a spark fly when I'm doing this, I ain't continuing. I'm going to go get something that won't cause sparks. So, and I've never had sparks, but I've heard tell. And I used to have a brass drift around here somewhere. I have no idea where it's at anymore. I haven't used it in so long. So what we're doing is we're getting the ring out. As you can see, it's starting to clean up as I do this. Okay, there we go. Is it like glued on? Is it glued on? Oh boy. No, look, it's running all the way down here and dripping onto my sweatshirt. Isn't that just lovely? I must have glued this thing in. I don't know why I did, but I did. It's been a while. Which means I'm going to have to clean this up. Means I gotta clean all this up, and I gotta do it very, very carefully. I seem to remember when I did this before how it just did not want to seal, and I think this is why I have that glue I have. Many hours later, I got it in. These old tabs in the locking ring just did not want a cohesion. That's typical when you're using aftermarket parts these days, but I had to do a little bending of the tabs, a little bending of this locking ring, and it's in now. So I'm gonna go see if my gas gauge actually functions now. Okay, so for some reason the battery was dead, so let's see what happens. The gas tank has a little bit less than a half a tank in it, or somewhere around half a tank in it. So the gauge should stop around there. And because the gas level, ooh, that was weird. What was that? And yeah, look at that. It's reading right about a half a tank of gas. which is what about I saw in the gas tank when I had the sending unit out. It was just below the level of the sending unit, so it was about a half a tank of gas. So I guess I have a functioning gas gauge. Now I just got to figure out why my battery's dead. That's weird. Last Friday night, I had to play musical vehicles to get this out of the storage unit because the storage unit's not heated, and we were going to have temperatures in the low teens already for lows. And I had remembered Friday night that this car still has straight water in it from Rocky Mountain Race Week. So I kind of parked the car after race week and really didn't do anything with it. I drove it around a few times, but the clutch was going out, so I didn't really go. I just puttered around town in it. But I didn't really do anything with it. And then I, like, sitting at work Friday, and they're talking about the weather, and I went, oh my God, this car's got water in it. Well, the last thing I can handle is the engine block in this thing freezing and cracking and me buying another engine, because I'm pretty sure freezing your engine and cracking it is not covered under the Blueprint Engine's warranty. They cover a lot of stuff, but freezing your block and cracking it ain't going to be one of them. So I did some major rearranging. I got it in the garage. It's nice and warm. As you can see, I have the heater on, and it's pretty nice in here right now. It's not cold out now. It was cold out last week, so it's what? It's like almost, I don't know, 60 degrees, 55 degrees in here. So it's not bad. I'm in a sweatshirt, see? But I got a lot of things I got to get done. So I had to get the water out of the engine so I could store it in an unheated garage for a little bit, and then I'm going to pull the engine and transmission out because I got to figure out the clutch. She's kind of like spitting up what she doesn't like. I guess it overfilled it. Purging the air out, I guess. There she goes. Get the fans on. take her over to the storage unit right now. The only thing good about what's going on, well, I have to basically pull this. Watch this. The thermostat's not opening. It does this all the time. Watch. Oh, that's weird. Run at 210. Normally this thing runs at 2. There it goes. It's got a 180 degree thermostat and it does this. It opens at all kinds of different degrees. It's done this for years. It doesn't make any sense to me. Sometimes it'll open at 190. Sometimes it'll open like 220. But it always opens. I don't get it. Well, I'm going to take this over to the storage unit. And the only thing good about this whole thing is that even with the clutch not working right, it still moves under its own power. Not very well, but it does. Oh, I was in third gear, no wonder. Alright, so I'm going to take it over to the storage unit and I got to close this. I got to close the garage door. Alright, so the car's back in storage along with my other boat. One of those boat projects I need to get to. You can see the seats there and all the other stuff for the boat.